remember our notes from last week where we talked about going from an improper fraction to a mixed number. Okay, so we talked about an improper fraction being a fraction greater than 1, which means the numerator is going to be bigger than the denominator. Thumbs up if you remember this. Okay, so we talked about the 4 steps to changing our fraction greater than 1 to a mixed number. Okay, and they were to rewrite the fraction as a division problem. We just kind of skipped this step altogether, do you remember? And we just put the division problem in the bracket like this. And then we divided, and then our remainder became our numerator. So we were using this whiteboard as a way to kind of guide us through. So let's practice a couple here on our whiteboard, just to like bring our brains back to what we were doing, okay? So we want to keep out these notes just in case. Okay, so we have our notes. Arabella, did you find yours? Okay, so let's do the fraction 7 halves.
And I don't have a dry erase marker.
Does someone have a dry erase marker that Julian can borrow?
1 second.
Okay.
There's some in the back.
Okay. So we've got 7 halves. So the tricky part, the hardest thing to remember here is that the 7 drops down and goes inside the bracket. Like Joseph said, oh, it's like the 7's in jail, right? Because it's improper. So the 7 goes inside and the 2 goes outside. Ooh, I will give you my, you can practice with this today. So we're gonna ask ourselves 2 times what gets us close to 7?
3.
3, because 2 times 3 is 6, so we would have 1 left over, right? So instead of writing remainder 1, this is all we do differently. We put the 1 as a numerator, and then the denominator stays the same. So if 2 was our original denominator, 2 is our new denominator. So our new mixed number is 2 and 1. I'm sorry, not 2. 3 and 1 half. Perfect. Did anybody's brain just go, oh yeah, I remember that? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, let's try another one. I'll get you a sheet protector. So let's try, how about 10 thirds? So it's improper. Is 10 greater than 3? So we're gonna divide. So this is gonna be a little bit tricky for you, but we'll give it a go, okay? We're gonna practice dividing. We're kind of even doing a little bit with these things, right? Okay. So the 10 goes inside the bracket. So we're gonna try a new one, 10 thirds. So you have to clear this board and do it here. Because the other side is doing something different. Naya put the denominator down before she even finished the problem because she knew it was going to stay the same. Brilliant. Good job, Arabella, having all your stuff out. Okay, so you're going to write 10 thirds. And then the 10's going to fall off and go inside. In the jail. We're going to divide it by 3. Okay, so then we ask ourselves 3 times what gets us close to 10? Did anybody get 3? Because 3 times 3 is 9, and we have 1 left over. So 1 becomes our remainder, and our denominator is still 3. So our mixed number is 3 and 1 third. Okay? Okay. So now I'm going to teach you how to go backwards. So today we're going to go from a mixed number to a fraction greater than 1, or an improper fraction. Okay? So think about it this way. If we go from an improper fraction to a mixed number by dividing, now we're going to go backwards. What would be the opposite, Patty? We're going to multiply. Yeah, I'm going to show you how. Okay. So if you have these notes and you flip it over to the back, yeah, you can follow along. You have yours, Julian? So this says we're going to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction. So the example is 2 3/7. Okay, so keep in mind we're kind of undoing what we just did. We're going backwards. So the first step is to multiply the denominator by the whole number. So we're going to do, so we have 2 3/7, so we're going to multiply 2 times 7, and we're going to get 14. Then we're going to add the 14 to the numerator, because basically the numerator was what's left over when you divide. So we're going to add it, and then we get 17. The sum, the 17, becomes the numerator, and guess what happens to the denominator? Stays the same. So here's another way to look at it. What we just did was we took this 2 wholes, right? And we said, okay, 2 is the same as 1 plus 1. 1 is the same as 7/7, right? So now we've got 7/7 plus 7/7. That's our 2 wholes. And we've got 3/7 more. So we're really adding 7 plus 7 plus 3, or 2 times 7 plus 3. Okay, so we're going to do it a few times like we did Friday, and you'll see how simple it is. Okay, so let's practice on this one, 4 1/3. Okay, so according to our steps, what's the first step? Julian?
Multiply the denominator by the whole number.
Multiply the denominator by the whole number. So we could write a little, we're going to multiply like this. Denominator times the whole number. 4 times 3 is what? 12. So put it up top, Lucas, in your notes like mine. And then after we multiply, we're going to
Add the product to the numerator.
add the product, that's our 12, to the numerator, which is 1. So we're going to do 12 plus 1, and we get 13. And our denominator stays the same. So our answer is 13 thirds. Okay, so let me show you just for fun what it would look like if we undid that. I see you, Lawson. Oh, thanks. So if we were going backwards, 13 thirds, what we've just been practicing, and we put 13 inside and divided by 3, right? 3 times what gets us close to 13 without going over? 4, which is 12, which leaves us 1, and our denominator stays the same. So this is what we learned Friday, so I can go back and forth. Do you see? Okay, let's keep practicing. Okay, let's practice with this one. 5 4/5. What's our first step? Arabella, what are we going to do first if we want to change this to an improper fraction or a fraction greater than 1? Step 1. Step 1. I saw you looking at your paper. It's step 1 on your paper. Multiply the denominator by the whole number. So 5 times 5 is 25. And what's step 2, Patty?
Add 29 Add 25 plus 4 equals
25 plus 4 equals 29. And our denominator stays the same. So we end up with 29 fifths. Huh?
We're making
We're making what?
We're making 4/5 to a improper fraction.
Exactly. Yep. All right, you ready for some practice? Okay. So on your little whiteboard and your sheet protector, on the other side, we have mixed number to an improper fraction with some help. So let's start off with 3 1/3 because that's what we did here. So we would write it like this, 3 1/3. So the only thing this doesn't tell you is that first you multiply. Yes, Ava?
Can I just use like the blank space on the back since I don't really understand what all this means?
Yes, or look, give it a try one time, and then you're welcome to do that, yes. So this multiply is step 1. So we're gonna multiply the denominator by the whole number. What do we get? 9. So 9 goes here. That's where we have been putting our product. And then step 2 is add, right? So Harper, what are we gonna add to 9? 9 plus 1. So we're gonna add the numerator and we get 10 and our denominator stays the same, right? Naya, did you wanna say something? Okay, let's try another one. Ready? Okay, so clear this side of your board. You can clear the whole thing if you want to. How about if we do 4 1/2? So we'll start with 4 1/2, and now I want you to change it to an improper fraction. What are you gonna do? So this is multiply 4 times 2. You got it, right? You got it? Yep, yep. So 4 times 2 is, yeah, 3 plus 1 is, you got it. Got it, Arabella? So we're gonna multiply 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8, and the 8 goes up here just to help us remember. Then 8 plus 1 is 9. So did everybody get 9 halves? Everybody I saw did. Okay, let's try another one. How about 7 3/5? Change 7 3/5 to an improper fraction. Right? I told you it was like math gymnastics, remember? You got it, Lucas. Ooh, now Julian is trying to undo it. You got it. Denominator stays the same. So 5 times 7 is 35. Plus 3 more is 36 or 7, 38. And our denominator stays the same. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a practice sheet that looks like this. Oops, wait, that's not it. That's the answers. I'm gonna give you this one. It says mix numbers to improper fractions. So if you find this helpful, you can continue to use this tool, but you can also do it on your paper if you choose. Okay, and so I'll give you some time to work on this, and then we'll check our answers.